in a developing story that could significantly impact the Green Bay Packers' offensive strategy this season. Right tackle Zack Tom is on track to return after suffering a partially torn patellar tendon during that disappointing game against the Denver Broncos. As fans, we know all too well how critical injuries can derail a team's momentum, and Tom's absence was felt deeply in the latter part of last season. Now, with the prospect of his return, how will this shape the Packers' offensive line moving forward? Before we dive into that, I want to hear from you. Where are you watching from? And what do you think the impact of Tom's return will be on the Packers this season? Leave your comments below. Zack Tom's injury last year was overshadowed by discussions surrounding other players, particularly the star edge defender Micah Parsons and tight end Tucker Kraft. But let's not overlook the glaring reality. Tom's absence played a significant role in the team's decline in performance as the season progressed. The injury occurred in Week 15, and even after the season, there was uncertainty about whether surgery would be necessary. As it turns out, it was, but luckily for us, General Manager Brian Gutekunst has confirmed that Tom is recovering well and will be ready for the regular season. Gutekunst offered a reassuring update, stating, "Yeah, he did, and he's doing well. He's an excellent player, a very experienced player." This is music to the ears of any Packers fan. The team had to adapt when Tom went down, with Darian Kinnard stepping in at right tackle. While Kinnard did an admirable job, it's clear that Tom's presence is irreplaceable. His consistent performance and skill set make him a vital cog in the offensive line machinery. Tom's health is paramount to the team's offensive success. He stands out as their most talented and reliable offensive lineman. Without him, the depth of the line is exposed, and that's a risk we cannot afford as we look to charge into the new season. Gutekunst expressed confidence in the upcoming draft, particularly with Tom's potential return. Obviously, we got a couple guys coming off injury, Zach and Jacob Monk, he noted. This speaks volumes about the team's strategy moving forward. They're not just hoping for the best, but instead planning for depth and competition within the line. What's more, Tom is not just any player. He's a cornerstone of the Packers' offensive line. Last July, he signed a lucrative 4-year, $88 million contract extension, making him the highest-paid offensive lineman on the roster, locked in through 2029. This kind of investment shows just how crucial he is to the franchise's future. The former 4th-round pick has proven time and again that he can be relied upon, and thankfully, he's on the mend and set to return to the lineup soon. Fans will undoubtedly breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that Tom is making strides in his recovery. His return could mean the difference between a solid offensive line and a vulnerable one, especially as we inch closer to the draft and the regular season. With Gutekunst feeling optimistic about the overall offensive line depth, we could see a more formidable front protecting our quarterback and opening lanes for the running game. As we transition into discussing how this could affect our draft strategy and any potential trades, it's clear that the Packers are in a position to strengthen their roster while also ensuring that Tom's health remains a priority. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into what this means for the Packers' upcoming draft strategy and other news that could shape our team's future. Jermod McCoy's knee situation is raising eyebrows, and it could have significant implications for the Green Bay Packers. As one of the top cornerback prospects in this draft class, McCoy, currently ranked as the second cornerback on the consensus big board, is a player that teams would typically be clamoring over. Yet, with news of potential additional surgery to replace a bone plug used to repair a cartilage defect, McCoy's stock is likely to take a hit. This kind of uncertainty in a player's health can lead to unexpected opportunities for teams like the Packers. McCoy is the 15th overall prospect on most boards, and normally, there's no way he should be available late in the second round. But here we are, discussing the possibility of him slipping due to his ongoing injury concerns. It's important to note that the issues are not linked to the ACL tear that kept him sidelined for the entire 2025 college football season. Yet the specter of another surgery looms large. NFL insider Tom Pelissero's insights suggest that teams will have to weigh the risk of McCoy's long-term health against the immediate benefit of drafting a player of his caliber. For Green Bay, cornerback is arguably their most pressing need, and acquiring a talent like McCoy could be a game-changer for the franchise's future. The injury concerns are certainly valid, but when you're looking at the 52nd overall pick, the risk feels much more manageable compared to a first-round selection. This is where the Packers can capitalize. Historically, they've shown a willingness to take calculated risks on high-ceiling players, and McCoy fits the bill perfectly. Albert Breer from Sports Illustrated drew an interesting parallel to last year's draft, referencing Will Johnson, who was the 13th overall prospect, but ended up being selected by the Arizona Cardinals in the middle of the second round due to similar injury concerns. Johnson had a mixed rookie season, but still made the all-rookie team, proving that sometimes the potential reward outweighs the risk. The fact that Johnson's head coach last year was Jonathan Gannon, now the Packers' defensive coordinator, adds another layer of intrigue. Gannon has first-hand experience in managing a player with health issues, which could influence how they approach McCoy if he's available. The stakes are high for the Packers since they don't possess a first-round pick in this draft or the next two. This makes the 52nd pick incredibly valuable, and it opens the door for them to chase a player with significant upside. While there's a clear risk involved, the potential reward of landing a player like McCoy could be worth it. He's only 20 years old, stands 6'1", weighs 188 pounds, and boasts a remarkable 9.67 relative athletic score. If McCoy can get healthy, he could be an anchor for the Packers' secondary for years to come. As fans, we need to consider what this could mean for the franchise. Are we willing to embrace the uncertainty that comes with a player like Jermod McCoy? Or do we prefer to play it safe and pass on a talent that, despite injury concerns, could elevate our defense significantly? It's a pivotal moment for the Packers, a chance to add a high-caliber prospect to a position of need. This is a time for passionate discussions and strategic thinking as we approach the draft. Now, as we transition to our next topic, let's keep the momentum going. What will the Packers decide as they navigate through this draft? Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the strategies and decisions that could shape the future of this storied franchise. As we dive into the final segment of today's discussion, let's turn our attention to a position that's quietly becoming a point of concern for the Green Bay Packers: running back. With the current roster looking solid for the present, the future seems a bit murky, and the whispers about potential trades and draft picks are starting to emerge. Where are you watching from? Take a moment to drop your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about the running back situation? The Packers have seen some notable changes recently, losing Emmanuel Wilson to free agency without bringing in any immediate replacements. Right now, the team is led by Josh Jacobs, who has proven himself as a workhorse back and is signed through the 2027 season. Complementing him is Chris Brooks, who, while not as flashy, offers valuable skills in blocking and pass protection. However, the most intriguing name on the roster might just be Marshawn Lloyd, provided he can remain healthy. In the short term, there's no pressing need for a new running back. Jacobs is more than capable of handling the workload. He rushed over 1,000 yards last season, and while he fell short of that mark in 2025 with just 939 yards, it's essential to consider the changes on the offensive line that might have contributed to that dip. Jacobs has accumulated over 2,000 touches in his career, and the wear and tear might finally be catching up with him. This raises the critical question: what happens if the Packers decide to part ways with Jacobs this offseason? If the Packers were to move on from Jacobs, there's a glaring void left in their backfield. Right now, Brooks can fill the role of a dependable third down back, but the uncertainty surrounding Lloyd could lead to his release if he can't consistently stay on the field. The team's current approach lacks a solid insurance plan, especially if they are contemplating parting ways with a cornerstone player like Jacobs. Looking ahead, the Packers have a moderate to high need for a running back in the long term. While Jacobs' cap hit will exceed $16 million down the line, his recent production raises concerns. The Packers are at a crossroads, and the upcoming draft will play a crucial role in shaping their future at this position. Although they don't hold a first-round pick this year, there are intriguing prospects that could be available on day two. Names like Emmett Johnson from Nebraska, Nick Singleton from Penn State, and Kalen Black from Indiana are all potential targets that could bolster the backfield. The decision on whether to draft a running back this year or wait until next remains a pivotal point for the front office. With the lack of a solid plan in place for Jacobs' potential exit, the pressure is on the Packers to make a strategic choice that could impact the franchise for years to come. As this chapter in the Packers' journey unfolds, fans must remain vigilant and engaged. The future of the running back position is uncertain, but one thing is clear: the choices made in the coming months will resonate throughout the organization. Be sure to subscribe for more updates and insights on the Green Bay Packers, and let us know your thoughts on the running back situation below. What direction do you think the Packers should take? Your voice matters.